We are Sex Bomb! 1, 2, 3, 4!
Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes!
I could do this all day.
Here's Johnny.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Movie Reviews No One Asked For. Today we'll be talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once, a 2022 film directed by Daniel Steinhardt and Daniel Kwan. I am your host, Seth Estes, and these are your co-hosts, Jason Estes, Misty Estes.
Hello.
Hello. And yeah, so Everything Everywhere All at Once is about a older Chinese lady who is swept into the multiverse, going to a bunch of different worlds where it's different universes that could have happened to her in her life based off the different decisions that she made. And so it's just her dealing with multiverse troubles while also fighting a multiversal version of her daughter. And if you have not seen this movie, make sure you watch it before you watch this video because we will be discussing some spoilers in this review. And this movie deserves to be watched. So first off, I really enjoyed this movie. It's absolutely amazing. I went in with a low expectation because the trailers just seemed weird. But then I saw it was like number 1 on Letterboxd, so then I decided to watch it. And I quickly realized how wrong I was when I thought that this movie was just going to be weird and just very stupid. Which it is weird, but it's a good weird. And like, in my opinion, I really enjoyed it. Like just all the different like how the aspect ratio would change every time it was like a different type of universe, or like the cinematography, and then the acting, of course, from most of the cast was really just they were funny when they needed to be, but at the same time they handled the drama parts well. Like Michelle Young, who plays Evelyn Wang, she did really well with the comedic aspect, but at the same time she also did really well with the whole connecting with the daughter. And then Stephanie Hsu did great as well as playing that teenager rebelling against parents type of role. And then Guy Huey Kwan, love him in Goonies, love him in this. He's like the exact same character. He is Data grown up. He is the best character in this movie, in my opinion. He steals the show. He is the best character. I love just his whole character, which is so funny, but then is also like he did very well with the character while making you feel like he's the fun dad, but he can also take things seriously too. And like some of my favorite little universes they went into was like the Rock one was so funny. It was so stupid, but it was so funny. And then the hot dog fingers.
Yeah, okay.
No, but I did really love this movie. I really did.
I will agree. Seth had me watch the trailer and I was like, that looks ridiculous. And then he told me a couple days later he was going to go see it, and I was like, all right, I'll go with you. And I don't know, what was it, 10, 15 minutes into the movie, I looked at him, I was like, I love this. And it was about 5-10 minutes later, I was like, we need to review this. Jason wasn't with us at the time, so we came home and just kept talking about it. And so, of course, then he went to go watch it. I, in my opinion, feel like this is a beautiful mix of humor, drama, and chaos all together. I believe that all of the actors and actresses in this film were just amazing and had great connection. Michelle Young, I know she's been in several movies. This, to me, was her best role that I've seen her in, anyway. And I agree with you. He basically is Data, like grown up. I think I said that at the theater. And then Stephanie Hsu, she did amazing as well. I mean, there was times I was laughing, the times I wanted to cry, like within like a 5-minute time span. It was just such a phenomenal masterpiece, in my opinion.
And you don't cry.
I don't cry, and I didn't cry, but I'm just saying, like, it's very moving. Like, as a middle-aged woman myself with grown children, like, I could see that connection, especially with her, who's she has a really hard time to talk about her feelings, and just, and I think everybody in the midlife crisis, they always think, what's the point of life? Look at all I've missed, and look how my life could have been different if I would have done this, and it kind of shows that aspect of life, and I think that's what she's going through, and when she's, excuse me, and then it shows her even if she would have made these other choices, and as she sees in the other universes, and she goes to these other universes and sees how her life could have been, how it still was never going to be as good as it was with her husband and her child. And I think that was really important. I think that's why it touched me a lot too. And I just thought it was a phenomenal movie. You have to go knowing that there's going to be the ridiculous about it, like the hot dog fingers. But the rock scene I thought was very amazing. I love that scene. I thought it was great. I cannot rave enough about this movie. And in fact, we were supposed to do Last Night in Soho first. That's what we had announced last time. But because we love this movie so much, we decided to skip that one this week and review this movie instead. And then hopefully next week do The Last Night in Soho.
And that's another thing, too, is that, like, the whole multiverse aspect of it, like, the whole science behind it wasn't too confusing to where it would, like, take you out of the movie. It was pretty easy to understand, like, all the different, like, universes and then how they would, like, travel to the different universes. It was pretty, like, they explained it pretty quickly.
They do. Well, yeah, that part of it was fine. My turn? No.
Your turn.
Okay. So, as much as we talk about The Rock, he should get Best Supporting Actor, even though he wasn't technically in the movie. No, it was
the rock scene.
The rock scene. So, I did like the movie. It was very good. I thought the editing of the movie was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. When Evelyn would kind of get transferred back and forth into different multiverses. Especially at the beginning, that beginning scene in the office where she gets transferred back and forth. I thought that was really cool. Of course, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, even though you've said it 7 times. But Data from the Goonies did good. In one universe, he's walking around with his fanny pack, and in a whole other universe, he knows how to do kung fu. So, it was funny to watch his character and his different transformations as he jumped and without spoiling too much of the movie, would gather talents from other hymns or whatever in other universes, or however they circled all that back around. But it was good from that aspect. I liked it. The rock scene, Misty loved the rock scene. Seth loved the rock scene. I thought the rock universe and the hot dog finger universe was kind of almost over the top idiocracy type movie. It was like slapstick to that kind of level to me. I didn't think it was horrible, but I didn't expect that with the way the movie started out to kind of be a drama and her bickering with her daughter and the mean things she says to her daughter, and all of a sudden it turns into over the top humor, which it was good transitions and they had all of it in it, like you guys say, up and down, but in my opinion, it was almost over the top. I think a lot of people might watch those kind of scenes and be like, really? But then other people might really enjoy it.
It's got a 4.6 on Letterboxd. I think a lot of people agree with Seth and I.
No, but I think that's what I'm saying. Other people might watch it and think it's hilarious, like you guys did. So you're going to have a mixed bag there, I think, of people that'll think both ways. If you like the movie, like Idiocracy and that kind of slapstick, you might really love it. I do like Idiocracy. I don't think it was horrible. The hot dog fingers and the rock scene was horrible. I just didn't expect it. It went to a whole new level when that stuff started happening. I was like, what? We went from really serious and kung fu fighting to hot dog fingers. So I was like, my brain's trying to transfer with the movie. My brain was trying to go multiverse to multiverse. But no, it was a very good movie. Had great lessons in it. Especially for those of us who have teenage children in the home. Was that a personal attack? Do you feel personally attacked?
Yes.
But no, I think a lot of people can relate with that type of movie and the connection between the kids and the parents. And even though the mom seemed to be very harsh at the beginning, it was her nature. It was kind of the way she was raised, and she was just trying to instill things into her daughter. And you see that as the movie goes on. And I don't think she meant to be mean or not have that connection. No. She just had a very different upbringing, and she was kind of going through that midlife crisis, as Misty talked about. So overall, very good movie. You can't go wrong putting the Scream Queen, Jamie Lee Curtis, in the movie.
Oh, we didn't even mention her.
Yeah, I know. So I thought I'd take that. You guys usually steal all the thunder early on, so I figured I'd go ahead and take Jamie Lee Curtis in the Scream Queen.
She was amazing. She was hilarious.
She did a really good job in all the different roles, from being super serious tax lady to super serious killer trying to kill people, to hot dog finger lady who just wanted to find love, to she played all these different roles.
Sumo wrestler.
Sumo wrestler. I forgot about the sumo wrestler part, but yeah, you're right. She played multiple different roles, which was kind of funny to see her do all that and transition through all those different scenes. So I'm glad I got to talk about Jamie Lee Curtis since you all
I
forgot.
did. I can't believe I forgot.
The real best supporting actor was Randy Newman as Rat Cocooney.
I almost forgot to mention that. That was almost too over the top too.
No, but I thought that was hilarious, especially because she can't say Ratatouille, and I always had it when they were little. I always did that when the movie came out, and I would always
because the
be
mom
like,
can't say Ratatouille.
Yeah, it was just funny. It was just she would make up other names, and so that just made it up, and it was that was the universe. It was just
I think
funny.
the raccoon Ratatouille, the Rock, and the hot dog finger universe are going to be tough for some people to swallow, but they were also kind of funny too.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention one of I think my favorite scenes was the whole time she blames her husband, who is kind of the lighthearted guy who for all her problems, even though obviously she is a big part of her own problems. But then she even tells him at one point, I see what my life would have been without you, and it would have been amazing. And then she actually learns later on that his life also would have been amazing without her. But then they find out actually in the end, I think that their life is much better together than it ever would have been apart.
But she realizes at the end they both had better lives, but they were still miserable.
Yeah, they were miserable without each
No matter
other,
what, they were going to end up together.
Yeah, I mean, how it should be. And it was just a really good, feel-good movie, but hilarious and ridiculous and just... I don't know. We have talked about it for a week now. We went last week to see it, and he and I have talked about it. We just raved about it. Jason, not so much. But
I thought it was. I think the biggest takeaway. So I think my biggest takeaway for that movie is everybody. I think everybody in the world always wonders about the what ifs. What if I didn't do this, or what if I did do that? And that movie really explores the what ifs of her life in all these different universes, so to speak. So the branches of what could have happened of her life. She sees all of it and realizes, for everything I hated about my life, it turned out the best way it could turn out. So I think the what if aspect of it was a great lesson of the movie.
I agree.
Yeah, and with that being said, the final ratings for this movie, for me, it's an obvious 5 stars.
5 stars, obviously, for me too.
I gave it 3.5. Again, my rating of 4 or 5 stars. It has to be a movie I'll watch. I would watch this 1 or 2 more times, but this would not be a movie I don't think I would turn on every time I saw it on. Like, I didn't like it that much, where it's going to be the Dumb and Dumber movie for me, where I will actively
You
seek that out
cannot
and turn it
compare
on.
this movie to Dumb and Dumber. I mean, that is like a totally different...
I know it's a different movie.
Oh,
certain scenes are kind of like Dumb and Dumber.
No. It's just not. It's not the same. Do not take that.
But all I'm saying
that
is,
it sells
before
less,
I'll give a
it's
4 or 5, it was a really good, for me to give it 3.5 stars, it was a really good movie. You know that. Before I do 4 or 5,
know,
I
but don't
have
compare it to
to
Dumb and Dumber.
actively seek out the movie. I don't compare it to Dumb and Dumber.
No.
I'm just saying. But I can compare it to Idiocracy?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
You've never...
Anyways,
Who are you?
I've never seen that.
thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed our review of this movie, and I hope this also pushes you guys to go see this movie, because you need to go see it. It's an amazing movie.
It really is.
We'd
Don't
recommend
listen
this. We'd recommend it to anyone.
You should see it. I agree.
And next week we should be reviewing Last Night in Soho. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and all of that. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.